Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it.
Sea and Stars follows Arabella Porter, a healer from the Isle of Skye whose life is split open by a letter from her dead mother, Catherine, naming William Stafford of Mystic, Connecticut, as her father. Arabella leaves the moors, the old Porter magic, and the ghostly shelter of her grandmother's teachings to cross the Atlantic, only to find that America holds not the family romance she imagined, but a harsher inheritance. A cold half-sister, a self-serving father, the buried truth of Catherine's life, and James Alden, a wounded shipbuilder whose guarded heart becomes one of the book's deepest mysteries. The novel moves through folklore, historical romance, Gothic unease, and female lineage with a steady fascination for thresholds. Between Scotland and America, life and death, duty and desire, enchantment and ordinary courage. Author Kelly Jarvis writes landscape as if it's alive. The Isle of Skye isn't just a setting, it breathes around Arabella, all sea mist, thistle, moor wind, and starlight. I felt the tenderness of the early chapters especially, when Arabella's healing practice is rendered through small, tactile acts. Tea, salves, candles, herbs gathered from difficult ground. The prose can be lavish, but it's rarely an empty ornament. Its richness suits a story about women who have been taught to read the world symbolically, to find meaning in weather, flowers, wounds, and dreams. I also loved how the book lets magic remain intimate rather than flashy. The healer's cloak, Catherine's letters, the solstice ritual, and the veil between worlds all feel less like spectacle than inheritance. Arabella's journey begins as a search for a father, but the book is wiser than that premise first suggests. William Stafford's name promises identity, then curdles into disillusionment, and that reversal gives the novel its moral weight. I was moved by the way Arabella slowly understands that blood alone doesn't make a home, and that love without accountability can become another kind of prison. Her relationships with Anne, Catherine, Eleanor, and James are all shaped by incomplete knowledge, which makes the book feel emotionally true. People inherit stories before they inherit facts. The novel's strongest passages, for me, are the ones where Arabella stops trying to be claimed by someone else and begins claiming her own power, especially when she becomes the wise woman in her mother's cottage and turns exile into vocation. Sea and Stars felt to me like a lush, earnest, and feminine novel about choosing which traditions to keep and which ones to cut loose. I found its emotional generosity persuasive. Its conclusion brings the story full circle in a way that feels both romantic and spiritually grounded. I'd recommend it to readers who enjoy historical romance with folklore in its bones, Gothic family secrets, strong heroines, sea-haunted settings, and stories about women learning that home can be inherited, built, and bravely reimagined.
Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.